I did. No, it's on order. I don't know if there can't be that many people in the world. You would think so.
You're on, Derek.
Good Wednesday evening again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Tailgate Talk Nebraska. Out in Colorado, I'm guessing in Colorado tonight, Brian Denton, satellite, back here in the home studio of Jeff Green's house. Jeff Green and myself, Derek, we're here to bring you, hopefully, a very good hour of entertaining talk about college and pro football. Gentlemen, had another great weekend of college football.
Absolutely.
Some close upsets. I'll be the first to admit, last week on this program, I did predict the Iowa Hawkeyes to upset Brian's Oregon Ducks. And until that last kick sailed through the uprights, Brian was worried that I was right. Were you not, Brian?
I was extremely worried. when Iowa took the lead at the end, I was like, ah, shit, we're done. There's no way that we're going to go down there for a field goal. But I seen the couple big plays, and I was like, maybe we got a shot. And it came down to the last bit. But it was a hard-fought win. That's all you can really ask of them,
Yeah. Well, let's start off, guys, and I kind of went through today. We've got 3 weeks of the regular season in college football remaining. This week, some teams have a bye. Some teams have a bye. Alabama has a bye coming up in 2 weeks by who they play. But let's look at the Power 4 conferences right now. We're going to start in the ACC. Right now, 6 wins to get into a bowl game. You've got Georgia Tech, Virginia, Pitt, SMU, Louisville, Miami, Wake Forest, and Cal. They're all bowl eligible right now. Duke and North Carolina State both need a win to get bowl eligible. And how about this? North Carolina, Clemson, and Florida State, all 3 of them need 2 wins. Clemson and Florida State were in the top 25 at the beginning of the year.
Yep.
Florida State beat Alabama at the beginning of the year. They need 2 wins out of 3 weeks to make it into a bowl game. What do you guys think of that?
It just shows how much diversity there is this year. I mean, teams that started out strong are looking weak. Penn State was the number one choice by the majority of all sportscasters out there, and they fired their coach and are sitting at 0-6 in the big. I mean, what a beautiful college scenario this has brought. We have teams that we never thought of are playing for playoff positions. I mean, they would never been involved in the 4-man setup. Ever. Knocking on the door? No, knocking on the door to think about it.
Yeah.
Now, they're knocking on the door getting in.
Yep. Well, Brian, the ACC, Georgia Tech, Virginia, Pitt, SMU are the top 4 teams in that conference right now. We're not even talking anymore about Louisville, Miami, Clemson, Florida State out of that, which we were at the beginning of the year. Now we're looking at a team, Georgia Tech, Virginia, Pitt, or SMU. One of those 4 representing. I know SMU made it last year into the college football playoff, but right now the front runner is Georgia Tech.
I think Georgia Tech looks really strong. They have all year. I would give the nod to Georgia Tech, but I wouldn't be surprised if SMU come out of that conference. It's a wide open conference. It's like you said at the beginning, we thought Miami was going to just run the table with that conference, and they're nowhere to be found at this point. So it's been a weird year of college football, and I'm interested to see what these last 4 weeks are going to entail.
The problem with the ACC, though, is it is wide open, but they're like the poster child of why they shouldn't get an automatic bid.
Right.
Whereas Big 12, on the other hand, when this all started, I thought was going to be that poster child.
Mm-hmm.
They're the opposite.
Yeah.
They proved that they should get an automatic bid, and they should get consideration of their second team.
Yeah.
Because they're playing good football over there.
Well, I want to rewind you guys to a Friday night here quite a few weeks ago. Virginia, everybody's talking about the upset of Florida State. Well, if those 2 teams played today, Virginia would probably be favored in that game. And now, that's how much flip-flop this season has gone in some of these conferences. Let's move on now to the Big Ten. You've got bowl eligible Indiana, Ohio State, USC, Oregon, Michigan, Iowa, Minnesota, Nebraska, Washington, and Illinois. Rutgers and Northwestern each need a win to make it bowl eligible, and Maryland needs 2. Now, there's another team that we talked about just a little bit ago, Penn State. They need 3 wins to become bowl eligible. They have 3 games left. And besides the Nebraska game, 2 of them are very winnable for them, Michigan State and Rutgers. Which I'm not saying that those 2 teams are pushovers. Do you guys see a chance for Penn State to get that 6th win this year?
I don't see how they keep losing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see them getting 3 wins. But on the other hand, they're sitting at 0-6.
Mm-hmm.
They have some bad losses in there.
Yeah.
And I hate the fact to think that Nebraska will be one of their wins if they get one.
Now let's look at Penn State last weekend, Brian. They play Indiana last weekend. A close game. They held it close. Indiana found a way to win at the end.
Yeah. But they gave them everything they were worth.
Should Indiana have been punished in the polls for winning, even though it was a close game? Should they have been punished in the polls and dropped below Texas A&M?
I don't know. I think Indiana's looked pretty strong all year long. And, Penn State's got enough talent on that team that just on talent alone, they should be able to stay in games,
It doesn't
whether they
matter
have a coach or not.
Therefore,
It doesn't matter, but yet
it matters if you're 5.
you got to realize Indiana or Ohio State. One of those 2 is going to lose a game this year.
Because they got to play each other.
They got to play each other in the Big Ten championship game. If Ohio State makes it past Michigan, which they haven't done the last few years. So there's that. But let's say this. Let's say Michigan does beat Ohio State again this year, like they have for the past 3. Let's say they play Indiana in the conference game, and Indiana gets beat by Ohio State. Now you've got 2 one-loss teams there. Will they get a bye? The winner of the Big Ten.
Well, yeah,
The winner of the Big Ten will get a
Texas
bye.
A&M.
No, I mean, will they both get a bye?
Oh.
Yeah, will they both get a bye then?
No, Alabama will sneak in.
Okay, well, let's say A&M loses a game. Then you've got Georgia, who we'll get to the SEC in a second, so we'll talk about that then. But that's one thing that you got to take a look at here. They slipped down to 3rd.
If you drop all if they all drop one, like you're saying, and then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 one-loss teams all hanging in there
Right.
up top.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go back to the opinions of the experts.
That's right.
Put
So
the seeds in there.
So dropping Indiana 1 spot to Texas A&M, yeah, you're right. It doesn't really make a difference right now.
For between 1 and 2, no.
But let's say maybe later on, if all of these one-loss teams, they got dropped and lost some votes because of that win against Penn State.
I mean, how do you rank the differences?
Yeah.
I mean, first thing you pick any head-to-heads,
Mhm.
and then you follow to common opponents.
Mhm.
But common opponents still should carry a lot of weight because, like, for example, let's say you played UCLA in the first 5 games of the season.
Yeah.
Or you played them in the last 5 games.
Mhm.
That's a completely different win.
Yeah.
Or loss.
Or if you play Penn State early
Yeah.
compared to later.
Yeah, exactly what Derek just said. The win for Oregon over Penn State don't look so good now.
Mhm.
No.
And that's why everybody's
That's what
questioning
should have
how.
happened.
But everybody's questioning how good Oregon is because that was their sample size, and then Iowa. I think the Iowa game shows they're for real. It's just they need to get. They're not the Oregon team of a couple years ago where they're just going to blow people out. They're not that team. They're the team that's going to get by squeaking through. They've shown that all year long. It's not just, that one game. The Penn State game was the same way. They should have lost that game.
But go back to the beginning of the year, the very first week of the season, we watched Ohio State beat Texas 14-7 at the shoe. If those two teams played now,
Ohio State wins that game by 21, 30 points.
do they?
Yes. Texas is,
I don't think Ohio
But
State's
Texas
that good.
is not better.
did they? No, they played the weaker part of their schedule. They
I
ain't better. That's the same
I-
Arch Manning out there throwing bricks.
still
Oh,
don't believe
yeah.
in Ohio State.
Same guy that started the season.
What's
Dude.
that, Brian?
I still don't believe in Ohio State. They haven't
I
played
believe-
anybody.
I don't either. This is not a testament on how good Ohio State is. This is a testament on how bad Texas is.
And I know Jeff hates Texas people.
That has nothing to do with this. This is a matter of how they play.
Okay, but they've lost 2 games this year, right?
Correct.
They lost to Florida
Yep.
and they lost to Ohio State.
Yep.
Okay,
Who else lost to Florida in the SEC? Florida's a middle of the pack team.
I'm not saying they're not.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying they're not.
Who,
But
who did they beat that makes you change your mind about who they are? Who did they play?
well, I won't change your mind. So
I'm not
I'm not going to change
I'm
your
just
mind
curious, did
because
they beat a top 10 team that I missed?
who?
Texas.
No, but
Of course not. They did it. Did they beat a top 15 team?
as Ohio State beat a top 10 team,
Yeah, Texas.
they're not now.
But no, you're right. But,
So
but there's nothing there for Texas to say they got better.
right, but what I'm saying is, if you look at the whole aspect, the defense, and what Manning is doing, what Sarkisian has Manning doing now, compared to what he was doing at that first game of the year, he has, like with TJ Lateef, he has adapted to his quarterback.
A little bit.
So he's putting him in better situations, is what I'm trying to say here. I'm not saying Texas is going to go out and beat Alabama or Georgia or any of them, but I'm saying they are a better team now than they were the first week of the season.
You know, this is college.
Mhm.
This is the pinnacle of college football.
Right.
And if you don't get better in 8 games, 9 games, then you should be coaching.
Right. But there are teams that started off good this year and now have fallen off.
And Franklin's looking for a job because of that.
Right. But they're not going to fire Sarkisian. You know that. You know they won't fire him. Hey, if he gets fired this year, I will be shocked
I love the fact he won't get fired.
because you don't think he's a good coach.
I don't think he's that good of a coach.
Okay, but
I would be pissed if Rule was to leave and we would end up with it.
look at this. Ohio State last year was the same way Texas is right now. In a way.
In a way,
But then all of a sudden, Ryan Day is on the hot seat after the Michigan loss. But then what do? They go on. All these teams are trying to do right now is get into that playoff.
that's right.
Because anybody gets hot in that playoff, it's anybody's game. Look at Ohio State last year. They lost to Oregon. They lost to Michigan.
The Michigan loss was late in the year too. I mean, that was
Last game of the season.
that was a almost kept him out.
And that Michigan team last year isn't even anywhere close to what they are this year.
Correct.
So any team can get hot at the end of the year.
Any given Saturday, you know. I mean,
And so that's why I'm saying the beginning of the year with the Texas team that played Ohio State, Manning looked like a junior varsity, junior high quarterback, where now Sarkisian has worked around his weaknesses and his strengths and is incorporating that stuff into what he does. Have you watched their games lately?
a couple.
Yeah. I mean, the game against Vanderbilt. Oh, they
Yeah.
beat Vanderbilt.
Yeah, they did beat Vanderbilt.
They beat
Top 10.
Vanderbilt. Yep.
They were 9, weren't they?
Yes, they were.
They were 9.
So they did have a top 10 win, yeah.
Yes, they did.
So
That's just bad.
now let's look at the SEC. A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Ole Miss, Texas, Vandy, Oklahoma, Tennessee, and Missouri. All in. LSU needs a win. Mississippi State needs 1 win. Kentucky and Auburn need 2 wins to get into the bowl eligibility. I'm not saying the SEC is bad this year. They've got 1 undefeated, a couple 1-loss teams. but you're not hearing the hype around the SEC like you have the last few years either.
That's
I
true,
think
but I think it's the quiet before the storm.
I agree with Jeff. I think that the SEC is stronger than they were last year.
Way stronger than last year.
Yes, I'm looking a few years ago where you
Yeah.
had the Bama, Georgia, LSU, Auburn. I mean, all those teams were in the top 10.
Well, I still think that I think Bama and Georgia were working through a few things in the transition over with the NIL and things like that. I think the last 2 years were representative of that. Alabama, they're working through having a new coach, losing arguably the best coach of all time in college sport.
Mark Mangino.
Typical. Bring up the
The
fat
Fat
man.
Man.
But let's look at this. We were talking about Oregon's loss to Penn State and how bad it looks on their resume right now. What about Alabama's loss to Florida State? Florida State needs 2 wins to be bowl eligible yet.
Yeah. And
They've only got 4. One of them.
And you watch Alabama play, you can't even fathom that being a problem.
No.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
I mean,
We were talking Florida State was back.
Well, you know as well as I do, Alabama's a whole new team from last year.
yeah.
You know, they're not the same team that they were last year. They don't have the talent. Like they had a talent flip because they were bringing in DeBoer's people rather than Nick Saban's people. So a lot of Nick Saban's people are leaving. DeBoer's bringing people in. That first couple games is going to be tough. Who knows what you're going to get?
This is the youngest Alabama team that we've seen in 10 years. It's the youngest all across the line. I mean, they have freshmen and sophomores playing all over the field. Under Saban, he had one marquee freshman, and the rest of them were, they earned their positions. Those offensive and defensive linemen, they sat on the bench for 2 years watching just to get their chance to go out there and play. That's what I mean by Alabama's going through that flux. Because they still got the NIL money. There's still the brand.
Yep.
If you were raised in the South, you want to go play for Bama.
Yeah, Bama or Auburn or Georgia. Those are the 3 teams down there that everybody wanted to go play for. Not Kentucky. Sorry, Big Stack.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the group or this conference Jeff was talking about, the Big 12. Texas Tech, BYU. At the beginning of the year, how big is that Nebraska win now? Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Houston, Utah, Arizona State, Arizona, TCU, and Iowa State all bowl eligible. Baylor and Kansas need 1 win. K-State, West Virginia, and the Scott Frost-led Knights of UCF need 2 wins. But, KU's in a world of trouble right now. They need 1 win. They had a lot of high hopes coming into this year. They look good early. This is one of those teams that looked good early and has now fallen off the table. They've got they got to bye this week, Iowa State and Utah to finish up. They go to Iowa State, they're home to Utah. So they're in trouble to make it. But do Texas Tech and BYU both deserve consideration in the playoff? Both have 1 loss.
I don't see why not. The Big 12, I honestly didn't see Texas Tech putting up a game like they did last week. But, both teams look good. Why not give them a shot? The ACC looks terrible. So why not give the Big 12
than it did last year?
Yes.
And Arizona State made a statement for the Big 12.
Yeah.
And like I said, they look stronger this year as a group.
I mean, Texas Tech went out and spent a bunch of money to bring players in, and you can tell.
And they got a scoring explosion going on down there.
They do, and they've got a good defense too.
It's decent.
Better than it has been.
Absolutely better.
For a Big 12 defense, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Utah sports a good defense.
BYU
has that's a quick defense. They're fast and they don't get beat over the top. You literally, if you can't run the ball, you're not beating BYU.
And how about Cincinnati? I mean, when
That's a pretty team.
When Nebraska played them in the first game down at Arrowhead, a lot of people are like, well, they got by Cincinnati. I don't know, but Cincinnati's stepped it up. I mean, they're playing some good football right now. Um, I Texas Tech and BYU will probably meet in the Big 12 championship game unless something weird happens between now and then. And Tech's only loss was close at Arizona State without their starting quarterback. Without him, they are a weaker team. So, I mean, what if BYU comes back, beats Tech, gets that automatic bid? Tech has 2 losses. You kick a 2-loss Texas Tech team that's looked good all year out of the playoffs.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, looking at it just that way, no. You have to look at why you would kick them out.
Mm-hmm.
So the ACC we know does not have a claim to an empty spot.
No.
Yeah, now you got to start looking at the Power Five groups. Do they have 2 teams, or are they only going to get one?
This is the thing about it. The Power 5 group includes Notre Dame.
That's right. Absolutely.
And I don't think that's fair.
Well, it's not going to ever be fair until they join the conference.
Right, because they pick their schedule. They
That's right.
play whoever they want. Yeah, okay, they played USC this year. They played Pitt this weekend. But
wouldn't it be nice to handpick your schedule every year?
Yeah, you don't have to play Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State.
Well, you sure don't have to. You don't have to play them back to back.
Yeah.
And you can pick them. Make sure that you have bye games
Mm-hmm.
Before you go on the road to one of them.
Yep.
You just the hand picking the schedule is a huge benefit for Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I mean that's why everyone hates the Irish. I mean, I wouldn't say they're cheating,
Yep.
but they definitely manipulate the system.
Now, out of the top 8 out of the poll this week for the championship
Yep.
bracket, is there one team in there that you see making a run like Ohio State did last year? They're going to have to go on the road for the first game. They're going to have to play one of the top 4 coming back out of that. But is there a team sitting there that you guys can see? Who do you got there, Jeff? BYU, Texas Tech?
BYU, Texas Tech, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Virginia, and then Texas and Louisville are sitting there on the cuff.
I think Oklahoma.
7-2 team also on the cuff, but they lost.
Well,
so if it was the other way around, they went counted and found a goal one. They would get Texas a nod still, but they won't get very little nod.
Okay, because Oklahoma and Bama play this week, right?
Yep.
Correct.
Okay, so let's say that Oklahoma
Texas
plays.
Georgia also go on, which should effectively knock Texas out of the talk.
So in this scenario, the Bama and Oklahoma game, let's say that Bama and Oklahoma's close. Let's say Oklahoma keeps it close, but they do lose. Do you really penalize them for that win?
Absolutely.
For that loss?
You don't let a three loss team in. You're not penalizing them for that loss per se. You're penalizing them for the fact that they lost 3 times.
Yeah, but let's just say that Oklahoma does sneak in at that bottom level. They're not a team I would be surprised that would make a run.
Well, it's like last year. You had South Carolina and Bama sitting on the outside, and they had 3 losses. Would they have made a run?
Potentially. Sellers is a good quarterback. Who knows what he could have done?
Bama had great defense.
Yeah.
I mean, even though Michigan went down there and pounded that,
But how much is it in the back of the mind of the 4 teams that are going to get buys on what happened last year?
Exactly.
Not one of the 4 teams.
I mean, the coaches, I don't think the players will see it.
Right.
The coaches, on the other hand, they'll have it in the front of their mind.
Yep.
Well,
and if they did get that buy, they will pound that into their kids. Hey, Ohio State didn't get a buy last year. They just pounded right through it. That's what we're going to do.
Yep. Now let's throw this scenario out, guys. Pitt plays Notre Dame this weekend. Let's say Pitt beats them at home. Let's say Oklahoma upsets Alabama like they did last year. And let's say Texas upsets Georgia. It's a scenario, Jeff. You can do this the whole time we're talking about it, okay? Thank you. But let's say that all happens. How much of a mess is this going to be?
It would be a disaster. How do you pick all
That
that?
would be
Because then you've got 2 lost Alabama, 2 lost Georgia.
2 lost OU, 2 lost Texas,
Yeah,
2 lost Vanderbilt.
3 lost Notre Dame.
Yeah, that put them out.
It would have to,
Yeah, that put them out.
you know. So those scenarios, and I'm
Like
not,
I said, the 3 loss thing. That 3 loss thing. Other than the ACC, by winning your your conference, that's the only way a 3 loss team should be able to get in.
Yeah.
Is that automatic bid. And if that happens with three losses too many times in the same conference, they're gonna start questioning that automatic bid for that conference.
and then if that all happens, does that clear the way for a team like South Florida?
Well,
They would be the next.
they're the high rated right now,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Other than Notre Dame. I mean,
Yeah.
they're a little bit behind Notre Dame, but
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely open up the doorway for this.
You know, is that a team that could come in like an Arizona State did last year?
Yeah.
Or what if Miami makes a run the rest of the year, gets the ACC title game, and gets in the playoffs?
See, they got some dogs.
That team is still scary.
I'm not saying that they'd have to win 4,
Right.
but they can make some noise like Arizona State did.
Yeah.
They could put someone on notice.
Yep.
Uh,
I mean, that's the thing with the playoffs this year. Last year, we kind of looked at it and we thought, oh, this team and this team, they should be in the finals. Well, that didn't happen. Ohio State, kind of looking at them after that loss to Michigan, you thought, well, they might win their first round game, but they're going to get smoked by Oregon in that second round.
Oregon could be that Ohio State.
They
vote.
could be.
I mean, they're not going to the championship game at this point.
Yep.
Ohio State and Indiana are going to go show off their things, and Oregon's going to stay at home licking their wounds, getting pissed that they're not there.
Now, let's say this: Indiana wins out. They go to the Big Ten. They beat Ohio State in the Big Ten.
That would be a game.
Because right now, I don't think people are really giving Indiana that credit that they can go and win the whole thing.
Because it's Indiana.
I know, but it's a different.
I get it. As long as you see it, you
Mhm.
still, in the back of your head, it's still Indiana.
I know.
Yeah, but they had a scare last week.
That was here last week.
It was an amazing catch that won that game. Let alone,
Yes.
if his feet were just that much farther, that's a loss. That
Right.
game's a loss. So
But
Is it good to have a win like that, Brian?
yes,
if
I
you're
agree
not
with
win
you
like that and a
100%.
loss like that,
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it'll be interesting to see how Indiana responds now.
Right.
How are they going to respond on the way out? Because I would have rather like Oregon last year. Everybody thought they were going to just run in, go to the title game because they looked so good. They ran into, and then they got that bye week.
Mm-hmm.
I would have rather Oregon had a win like that last year going into the playoffs than than not having it.
Yeah.
Because Oregon really didn't get challenged the rest of the year last year.
Yep.
Indiana's at least getting challenged. And I don't think Ohio State stands a chance in that game. I don't. I think Indiana wins that game all day long.
It will be interesting to see. It really will. What?
quack, quack.
Ducks fly together, right?
No, sometimes.
Isn't that
It's in the movie.
Well, guys, we got a lot of great games this weekend. Nebraska on a bye.
That's not why we can't lose.
They get a week, right?
Oh,
They
we
get a
can't
week
lose.
to prepare for the trip to Happy Valley. Give Latif another week to run that schedule. Let's talk briefly about that. TJ Latif came out last week at UCLA. They changed that game plan for him.
Yeah, 13 for 15, 189 yards passing, no interceptions, 2 touchdowns. I mean, his efficiency of running the ball. He let Emmett do his job.
Mhm.
He didn't take over the running game, but he used his legs to move the sticks and keep plays alive. And I mean, that was a great game plan.
Yes.
And if they can stay on schedule, That's a great game plan no matter who we play.
Latif, I noticed, would look at his first two reads. If they weren't there, he either dumped it off to Emmett or he ran the ball.
Absolutely.
He got out of that pocket. He wasn't going to take that sack. And Emmett Johnson put that team on his back last week.
Oh, but what a stud!
Yeah.
I mean, he was breaking tackles. He was, I mean, he should be in the Heisman talk. I'm not saying he should be in New York, but he should be in the talks because he's got good numbers.
He does.
And when it's down and dirty, he puts the team on his back and he does the down and dirty. I mean, the USC game, if he went to stepped on Latif's foot, we win.
Yeah. If he doesn't trip up there. Now we will see what TJ has. The UCLA defense, maybe not as strong as what they're going to see the next two games.
Correct.
Penn State still has a good defense. Iowa, we know what their defense is consisted of.
One of the best every year.
And so, but if TJ and the Huskers go out and they win those last two and they look like they did last week against UCLA, I think we got a quarterback controversy starting next year in Lincoln.
Yeah, you can't, the coaches might see differently.
They might.
But there will definitely be a controversy for the fan base. Because Nebraskans, we're used to seeing a running quarterback. And watching Raiola sit back there in that pocket and run, I mean, he looks like molasses trying to drip out of the tree when he runs. And the soft passes that he throws, those are just not things as Nebraska fans that we're used to seeing. And do we consider that good? Despite the stats, that's not how we see football being played.
I don't see any chance of Latif taking that job. I don't. It's and the reason I say that is because Nebraska historically is so loyal to that number one guy.
Yeah,
I just don't see it. I don't
now,
see
wait a
it.
minute. Matt Rule's not loyal to anybody. And he's proven that. He fired his best friend, knocked him down to the second. That first year, he went through four quarterbacks. One guy only got one game, and that was enough. So, I mean, is he married? Or do we have that? Do we have that again? I don't think so.
I
think he's married to Raiola.
I don't think so.
Here's my outlook on it. And Brian, Jeff, you can tell me if I'm wrong. Dylan's older brother has committed to come here.
Yes, he has.
He's supposed to be just as good, if not better.
That's the rumors.
So who's the odd man out in that situation? Because TJ had to burn his redshirt year. They could have redshirted him this year had he not played in these last few games. So now Dylan comes back next year as a junior. TJ comes back as a sophomore. Is TJ Latif going to want to sit behind Dylan and play 1 year of college football? Or if he reads the writing on the wall, sees him going with Dylan the last of the years, and then his little brother coming in, does TJ look to go somewhere?
In this day and age, I wouldn't be surprised that he'd look to go somewhere because he's showing that he's going to have some talent. Somebody will want him.
Oh, yeah. I guarantee you that there are probably 30 to 40 programs right now that would love to have a quarterback with that much.
All right, you're forgetting Trey Taylor is also coming in 27.
Yeah.
Same, he's highly touted, if not more, than Dylan was.
Yeah.
That's the future if you're going by the stars and
so what I was saying,
projections.
Where does TJ fit into that positioning? Because that's only one more season after this one.
That's right.
Before that kid gets here.
I think if I was TJ, I would stay one more year to see what the writing on the wall is. Because otherwise you're guessing.
Because if Dylan comes out next year and they play him and he stays healthy, then Dylan will be a senior when this kid comes in as a freshman. They can redshirt him and then turn the reins over to him that next year after Dylan graduates. And so then where does Latif fit in that bookend, you know? And
you really got to know what Dylan's brother looks like.
well, I'm talking the new kid.
Oh, Trey?
Yeah.
Well, I've watched the video on him,
Mm-hmm.
and everything shows that he would be Dylan out
Right.
for the job.
But what I'm saying is Trey will be a freshman Dylan's senior year. So you redshirt him,
Yeah.
let him play behind Dylan, watch how the plays, you know, how the program runs. Then Dylan's gone. He's now a redshirt freshman. And you bring him in to run it. So that's why I'm saying TJ is kind of caught in the middle of all of that.
I don't think TJ will be on the team next year.
I find that sad.
It's the new
But
era
it's
of
the
college
new era of
football.
college football. Because
Yeah.
can he go to Iowa State and make them look better?
Yeah. Could he go to Kansas and take over Daniels
Absolutely.
and make them look better? You know, I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks in the NCAA right now that are seniors that are going to be leaving, and those spots are all going to open up.
Try to go down to Texas and make it better.
There you go.
No, I'm just saying.
Eli's nephew, man.
Yes.
Eli the god of
I love
football.
I agree. Absolutely. But his nephew is playing at the Giants and is on concussion protocol right now.
Isn't it?
Yeah, Jackson Dart.
That's Eli's nephew.
That's Eli's nephew.
All right, well, we mentioned some games this weekend: Texas, Georgia, Oklahoma, Alabama, Pitt, Notre Dame. We got some big games this weekend that can just shake up this entire.
Yeah, the whole top 12 is going to look different next week.
Yep.
Because there are teams that are going to get losses.
Yep.
There's going to be teams that are no longer playoff eligible.
That's right.
Because the mythical number is 3 right now.
Yep.
You know, if you get 3 losses, you're out.
Yep.
Then we start looking around who doesn't have 3 losses. How good are they? Why are they there?
Well, let's move on. We hope your college football team does well if they're playing this weekend. If they're not playing this weekend, enjoy the weekend just to watch football and be a fan. Let's move on to the pro game.
And if you don't have anything to watch, tune into Texas, Georgia, and root on Georgia. I mean, make sure it happens.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs. What a barn burner of a game we saw Monday night. The Eagles and the Packers. I started watching paint dry, Brian. I'm sorry. Your Eagles, that game was the worst game of the NFC all year long. I know
Yeah.
the top 2 teams in the NFC 0-0 at halftime. And yeah, man, that was brutal to watch.
It was brutal game to watch. You know, as typical Philly fashion, they win one way or the other. They find a way to win. I think what killed like any scoring on that game is when Philly was down in Green Bay territory and that punch out from Jalen Hurts on that scramble, that just killed any momentum. Huh?
Jalen Hurts fumble?
And the Philadelphia guy made it.
Did you see that punch out? Like anybody's fumbled that ball. But that just killed any momentum for any offense in that game at all. But you know, they're both really, really good defensive teams. They really are. I think you saw 2 of the better,
inside the red zone 5 times.
Yeah.
With 1 touchdown.
Yep. Yeah,
That's nuts.
Yeah, the defenses look good on both them teams, you know, and I don't think anybody wants to play either one of them teams in the playoffs with a defense that can play that like that.
No, and you know, let's go on to some other games here. What happened to Buffalo? Miami made them look.
Don't the Fins seem to beat them once every 3rd game?
No,
or
it's the
something?
Patriots that the Dolphins always beat.
Yeah. It was the Patriots.
Buffalo has had Miami's number the last 4 or 5 years. But Achan ran all over them like they didn't know what they were doing out there. And Tua looked like Bart Starr or Joe Montana, you know? I mean,
Tua is a really good quarterback when he's healthy.
yeah,
But he don't have very many healthy games.
no.
Yeah, but Buffalo just looked lost.
Even on
The-
offense, Josh
yeah,
Allen didn't know what he was doing.
no, you can even see the frustration in the faces of them.
When you were talking fumbles with Jalen Hurts, uh, James Cook had a big run and then fumbles the ball, puts it on the ground. Josh Allen had a big run and was holding the ball out like this and just fumbled it. You know, man, I mean, if the Bills play like that the week before against the Chiefs, they look flawless, you know, pretty much. They turn around in this game and they look that way. You know, let's go on. And that NFC West right now, I believe, belongs to the Rams.
Yeah.
But don't forget about that team in the Pacific Northwest. Seattle looked really good, and I know they were playing Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals, but they had like 21 or 24 points in the first quarter last week on 2 defensive touchdowns, and they look strong.
Yeah, the Seahawks look really strong. A lot of people are picking LA as the top team in football right now.
Yeah, those
I
power
don't.
ratings that you posted earlier today had the
Yeah,
Rams #1 in both of the polls that he posted.
yeah, and
I
I have a hard time seeing it. I like they do look good. LA looks good, but I just don't. What they're going off of, I think, is their defense has allowed the least amount of points in football this year,
Right.
all year long. So they have a really strong defense. I just don't. I don't think that LA can put together a run in the playoffs. I just don't. I think either one of them teams in the Pacific Northwest or in the West of the NFC, I just don't see them making a playoff run all the way through. That's just where I'm getting hung up on them.
Well, let's stay in the NFC and let's talk about a team that is on a roll right now, the Chicago Bears.
Oh.
Caleb Williams. Just like the Eagles, they're finding a way to win. And the other day, I didn't think they had a shot to win that game, and they found a way to win it at the end.
Yeah, they look good. The Bears have looked good for the last 5, 6 weeks straight, something like that. Um, I I don't know. The Lions might have their hands full up there.
I have a few Bear fans that are friends of mine, and they got high hopes.
Yeah.
They're starting to buy in. They're starting to believe they got a chance. And nothing more dangerous than a team like the Bears thinking that they have a chance.
They remind me of like the New York Giants that squeak into the playoffs and then go through.
The Giants always have a chance, and they know it.
But
They're not.
that's what this Bears team reminds me of, though. They get in the
Yeah.
playoffs, who knows what's going to happen? So,
Yeah, and you know, I mean,
And Caleb Williams plays very well under pressure. The bigger the game, the better he plays. Which, is sad during the regular season because then he turns around and plays like an idiot against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I mean, a team they should have beat. But then they turn around and get a loss out of it because Caleb Williams has a fumble and an interception and ran the wrong way on a breakout. I mean, he plays down to opponents.
yeah. The Giants fired Brian Dabo,
Woohoo!
but is that the guy they should have fired, or should the GM have been fired?
Not them all! Not them all!
But let's look at it this way. If the Giants had stayed healthy with Malik Neighbors, with Cam Scadaboo,
Jackson Dart. Yeah.
Carter, I don't think,
Brinson, Henderson.
I don't think Dabo gets fired. I think they have 2 or 3 more wins this year.
I agree with you, but now we fired him. The GM is definitely on a hot seat.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some very interesting choices of people that are wanting to coach teams. And we're a lucrative job. Our salary cap now is in a good position. We're not upside down.
Jeff,
Barkley solved that for us. We got rid of Barkley, a few overpaid old guys on the lines, and that's all done. Now we got rookie contracts in all of the prime positions, and how it's looking, we're gonna get another first round high pick next year to maybe get us a center
Another edge rusher.
or
What you
well, we don't need another edge rusher. Come on now, that's why we need a new coach. Double up on that already. Um,
But
it's, it's if you're a coach coming back in, like a Gruden, for example, right? You look at the Giants situation. That's a good spot.
I was just gonna say I read an article today that John's really interested in
And
the
why
New
should
York
we?
job.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what we're talking about. I mean, all the young talent they got, and it's just a good setup. Plus, you're going to have 2 first round picks next year because of the trades that have already been made. We already got 2, and then ours is going to be a good pick now. So I mean, you're going to get 2 first round picks next year to kind of mold it, to make it yours as a new head coach or a new GM.
You know, are you old enough to remember the old NFL with Chris Berman and Tom Jackson? Do you remember that?
No.
Chris Berman, and it just rattles through my head listening to Jeff talk there, but I always used to do this prime time. And that's who I see the Giants getting.
And that's why you might not be on the show next year. Damn. Why would you bring a good moment we're having here? We're having a great discussion. And we bring in that.
Well, I had to throw that meme out to you the other day too.
You did.
I'm
But-
sorry. I just don't think Prime's health's gonna let him coach.
Oh
I just don't.
no.
Either way.
I'm not going any further.
There's only one team in the NFL that will bring him in, and that's if Jerry Jones is still alive. Sorry, Presley. The Cowboys would hire him as a head coach because the fans down there love him from his playing days,
Yeah.
and he
But
would be an
have you
attraction.
listened to Prime?
Oh yeah,
He's done.
he is.
He's done.
Yeah.
His health problems have mounted, and he can't hide them no more. They cut off another part of his foot. I mean, he's down to a third of a foot now. I mean, no, he's done. He's ready for retirement. He's ready to be studied. Yeah, he's done.
Well,
He's not going pro for sure.
there is another one of his former teams that I think should get rid of their coach because I watched that game over in Berlin last week, Indianapolis and Atlanta. Raheem Morris, I had not figured it out. They had the lead. It was halfway through the fourth quarter. You've got one of the best running backs in the NFL in Bijan Robinson.
Or the tandem, put Algier in there
Put Algier out there. Put them both out there.
because Algier starts 90% of the other teams.
And what do? They throw 3 straight passes with Michael Penix trying to force it into Drake London, who was double cover, runs no time off the clock, gives the ball back over to Danny Dimes and the Colts, who then just give the ball to Jonathan Taylor and let him do whatever he wants in that game. And the Colts win it in overtime. And I have not figured out what Raheem Morris is doing. You know, does he not want to win? Is he trying to get a big draft pick? Man, that was hard to watch.
It has been hard to watch all year because, like you said, it's a team that has no direction.
Right.
If you were an Atlanta fan, are we a run team? I mean, we should be.
Yeah.
But are
I know.
we?
I mean,
Honestly-
what's that, Brian?
Honestly, Atlanta has a lot of talent on that
They
team.
do.
And they could be scary because they have a legit running back in Bijan. They have some of the biggest receivers in football. Drake London's one of the biggest receivers in football and is hard to stop in the goal line.
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts. You got so much talent there, but they just can't get somebody to put it together.
And they got a defense that does enough to win.
Right.
Week in, week out. They do enough to win.
But what's the key factor in that? Michael Penix. I don't think he is a good NFL quarterback. I mean, some of his throws, and if you know him and watch what he's doing, He is trying to force everything into Drake London. He's not looking at his other options out there. He drops back, he locks in on 5, and he tries to throw the ball in to a window this big, and it's not going to happen.
And they had 3 or 4 in a row. Cousins, he's that way too. He thinks he's better than he is. Who was before Cousins?
Well, you had Matty Ice. Matty Ice was good. Matt Ryan was a good quarterback.
He was.
He
He's
was
just
a good
old.
quarterback. Yeah, he had just gotten too old.
Yeah, he just got too old. Because you're right. That guy had an arm.
Matty Ice was a good quarterback, and but take nothing away. They were right there in that game, but they've been right there in that game with a lot of teams this year. And the Colts are a good team. The Colts are a very good team. They do everything right. I know Jeff hates hearing it, but Daniel Jones is looking like a good NFL quarterback right now. I'm not going to say
Why
good.
was he so bad?
I don't know if it was the offensive line and he felt like he had to get out of the pocket every time, where now he doesn't.
I just think it was coaching.
Yeah.
I just straight up did. I think Dabble was trying to make him do things that weren't in his wheelhouse.
Yep.
Dabble wanted him to be Josh Allen, and despite Danny Dimes can't run the ball, he's not Josh Allen big.
No.
I mean, I don't know.
Well,
Yeah,
he
I mean,
was used to Josh. He was used to Josh Allen. So,
all right. I mean, there was a disconnect there somewhere.
The only time that they looked good was the year they went 10-6 or something like that, made the playoffs, and then they got smoked by Philly in the playoffs a couple years ago.
Yeah,
That's the
first.
that's the only reason Dayball was there that long.
But they
my
didn't look great that year. It's just that they took advantage of a schedule.
Yeah, they got on a roll.
Pretty easy schedule, and your Eagles laid down at the end of the year and let them beat them, and that got them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the Colts, you guys remember the days of Peyton Manning and playing against Tom Brady and the Patriots? How about New England? Drake May and the Patriots. Everybody kind of was like, yeah, they went and beat a good Tampa Bay team last week.
Yes, they did.
A good Tampa Bay team. Could we see the beginning of a Daniel Jones, Drake May dynasty like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady?
Maybe.
I mean,
I don't see it.
Huh?
I don't see it. I'm sorry, but I don't see it.
No, but New England, I think, is for real. I think they are a big threat to Buffalo winning the AFC East this year. I think New England right now has that track to go do it. They've already beat Buffalo.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Does it feel like a Bill Belichick team?
It does. Yeah.
When they were in their prime?
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. It has a Bill Belichick feel to it.
Without the cheating.
Well, was that Belichick or was that Tom?
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
But and then
Tom's from Michigan, cheaters. That's cheater view. So I mean, you got to give the nod to Brady.
Big game going on in your state this weekend, Brian. The Chiefs come out to play the Broncos. Could start flipping the AFC West, or could keep Denver away from the Chiefs a little bit.
I think this game's going to solidify Denver's the team in the division this year. I do. I don't see the Chiefs coming into Denver and winning. I could see them splitting, but I don't see them winning in Denver. Denver's showing it's really hard to win here this year, and I don't think they've lost at home all year, honestly. But Denver, I think, needs some credit in that AFC. They just keep winning, and they may win ugly, but they do win.
I hear you, and I hate to say that I agree with everything you just said, but with the Chiefs, now let's look at it from a Chiefs standpoint, right? Unlike the Broncos, this is a must-win game for the Chiefs.
I agree.
They cannot lose too many more games.
This could this could change it to where Kansas City's officially going to be out of the playoffs.
Right. That's why I think the Chiefs win this game, is
But I
because
don't
it
you think that
means so much more to them.
don't you think that Denver would be motivated to get Kansas City out of there and solidify it?
Then I would be having to give Denver credit enough to say that they were good enough to be motivated to do such things. Um, I, I think that I think the West is a very weak conference or division this year, and that's why we have the Broncos looking to solidify it. Because I mean,
Is there a strong conference in the AFC right now?
No. The
not
AFC is
really,
weak.
No, there's not.
On
not really.
honestly,
Yeah.
your teams in the AFC are New England, Indianapolis, and I think Denver are the three teams that you need to worry about in the AFC right now.
Well, Brian, I'm going to throw a stat out at you. I had to look it up. I thought it was right. 22-4. Andy Reid's record after a bye week.
22-4.
After a bye week, Andy Reid is 22-4. The Chiefs have been playing good football. They had a slip up at Buffalo. They didn't win that game, but in all honesty, Andy Reid is a master at coming out after the bye. I mean,
He is.
I don't know if there's another coach out there with that kind of a record coming off of a bye week, you know.
And Taylor Swift is in Europe this week.
Thank God. We
So
want
I mean, we don't have the Kelsey distraction, which could be trouble for Denver.
I think Denver wins this
New
week.
England game and a half lead over Buffalo in the East. You've got Pittsburgh with one game over Baltimore. There's only going to be one team coming out of the North, I feel. I don't think they're going to get two. I think they'll get their division winner, and I think that will be it. In the South, Indianapolis, they've got a 2.5 game lead over Jacksonville. I really don't see, unless Indianapolis falls flat on its face, or if Jonathan Taylor gets hurt, I don't see them not winning that one. And you've got Denver at 8-2, the Chargers at 7-3, one game behind them, and the Chiefs
Mhm.
5-4. So let's just say Kansas City wins this week. You're going to be a game and a half difference between first and third in the AFC West. And, when Denver has their bye, the Chiefs can make up that half game too. So there's a lot of stuff.
There is. I honestly see Denver being motivated to try to kick Kansas City out of the playoff contention.
Yeah.
Especially at home.
Well, you want to talk about the toughest division in the NFL? Well, there's two of them actually: the NFC North and the NFC West. I mean,
Yeah.
you've got Detroit and the Bears all 6-3, the Packers 5-3-1, and then the West you've got Seattle 7-2, the Rams 7-2, and the Niners 6-4.
Yeah.
So those teams are all.
The Niners are quietly building a resume.
Yeah, but the Niners are losing to teams they can't afford to lose to. They're losing to the Seahawks. They're losing to the Rams.
Correct.
They've got to win those conference or those division games to get those tiebreakers, and then, what was it? They lost to somebody else bad too. But
I see the Rams as a heavy threat. Because I find it hard to wrap my head around Indiana at any times. I mean, I just find
that's a different conference.
I know I'm just talking as an overall
Yeah.
powerhouse of the teams. I think your rankings that you did this morning were right. I think the Rams are the power ranking best team in the league.
I've seen it the last 3 weeks and I just can't get behind it. I can't.
Who would you pick then?
Huh?
Who would you put up there at the number one spot?
Honestly, the number one spot at this point,
Yeah, don't be a homer.
honestly, I would have to put like I would probably put a Denver in there before I put them in there.
New England.
New England looks good. Like I
I
never would have thought New England would be what they are this year, but they look good. You know,
New
but
England.
if
Yeah.
you look at them power rankings though that I did, it shows the AFC is weak. It shows that it's weak.
It's
So
good.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the Patriots, their losses were early, I believe. Trying to look it up here. Yeah, I mean, they lost to Pittsburgh 21-14 week 3. They lost to the Raiders week 1, 20-13. Since that though, 7-game winning streak for the Patriots.
yeah,
And they beat the Panthers, who haven't looked bad recently, beat Buffalo, beat Tampa, they beat Atlanta, and you know, you gotta look at they did have New Orleans, Tennessee, and Cleveland in there too. So, but they finish the year with they got the Jets this week, they got the Bengals, they got the Giants, then they get Buffalo at home, they get the Ravens on the road, the Jets and Miami to finish the year out. Really only got 2 more tests all year, and that's Buffalo and Baltimore, in my opinion. I mean, the rest of those teams are not.
With Burrow coming back.
he started practice.
Yeah, he started practicing.
Yeah, that's 2 weeks. I don't think he'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
So, I mean, New England could be challenging Indy right now for the number 1 seed.
Yeah, and let's
Isn't that crazy? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
It's like the Twilight Zone.
honestly though, look at Denver's resume. Their 2 losses were by less than a touchdown
Who's that?
combined, and they should have lost. They should have beat Indianapolis, and they, huh?
Who you talking about?
Denver.
Oh.
Denver should be undefeated, honestly.
Thought we were done with Denver.
But nobody's really talking about them though.
That's
Why?
Because it's Denver.
They're on a what are they on a 7-game winning streak now? Denver is? Yeah, because they went 1-2 and then they've won out since. So
But again,
and they're doing it without Pat Surtain.
they beat the Eagles in there. Okay, so I'll give them one quality win there. The Bengals, the Jets, the Giants, the Cowboys, the Raiders, and the Texans.
Okay.
I mean,
But in all reality, though, if you go to the first 2 games, they should have won them first 2 games. They should have beat Indianapolis.
the Colts and the Chargers are their 2 losses.
Okay, so the both games were close though.
Yeah, they were both close. But their other win beginning of the year was Tennessee. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
I get that.
you know, I'll give them the Philly win. That was, you know, but Philly didn't play good in that game either. So now they're kind of going to roll into a tough part of their schedule because they have to play at home against Green Bay. They're at home against Jacksonville. They got the Chiefs this week, then a bye. Well, let's start there. Chiefs this week and then a bye. They go to Washington, which Commanders aren't looking really strong right now without Jaden Daniels.
No.
They get the Raiders again in Vegas. Then Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas City, and the Chargers to end the year.
I think they maybe lose 2.
So,
Maybe 2.
I'll tell you what, Brian, on our show after week 18, we'll see where they're at. I agree.
It was the Chiefs, Green Bay, Chargers, and Jacksonville most likely would give them 2.
Do they lose to the Chiefs twice?
They played twice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They don't lose to the Chiefs twice.
Yeah.
But then they got the game against the Chargers at the end of the year, too. And the
Yeah.
Chargers aren't horrible right now.
No.
So,
Not great.
I mean, the lucky thing for them is their big games are at home. Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas City, one of the 2 games, and the Chargers are at home. So 4 of those games are at home. So
Yes.
I can actually find myself rooting for Denver against Chargers. I mean, I can't believe they let that cheater back into pro football.
well, you know, that's a team we haven't talked about either. There's Chargers. I mean, they're up there at the top of the rankings as well. But Brian, I think Jeff and I are going to do this, and we'll send it to you when you put your rankings out next week.
Renee, to be a Denver fan, we all respect that because it's a long, hard road. I mean, I'm a Giants man, so I get it. But your long, hard road has been going on for years. You don't even look old enough to be around when John Elway was around, which was an overrated state of the whole Denver situation. Uh, but we all take our hats off to you and respect you for being a Denver fan. And we know it's tough.
Well, Jeff and I, you talk to Braden tomorrow. After this weekend's game on Monday, we will send you our power rankings for the NFL.
Oh, I like it. I like it.
And
See, the ones I pulled, just in mind, the one I pulled was Fox Sports.
Mhm.
So that's what Fox Sports was saying. So
well, you're going to post the Tailgate Talk Nebraska rankings now.
we'll
And
do
we're
that.
gonna see how we all match up, how we think the NFL looks right now.
Yeah.
And then, fans, before our show next Wednesday, we'd like to hear your comments on our power rankings.
So on Tuesday we'll post. That gives you guys about a day and a half to respond to.
Now, setting ground rules for this.
Ground rules.
Just
Rule number
because
one.
you hate the Eagles, hate the Chargers, and hate all these teams, you can't put them at the end. You've got to be going legitimate power rankings, okay?
My hate is got backing. There's reasons that hate is there.
I know. I want to see legitimate, okay?
All right, I'll try.
And maybe on Sunday, you can post these Monday and then post the other ones. Why don't we all go on and send Brian so he can put them online? Our top 12 in the
Ooh.
BCS after this Saturday's games.
There we go. I like it.
We'll see how well we do because the rankings won't come out till Tuesday.
Yeah.
So we'll see how we do. The power rankings for the NFL won't come out till Wednesday, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So you can post ours on Monday night, and we'll see how we do.
They're Derek is giving out homework. Giving out homework.
That's right. So, guys, it's been another great show. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Please, again, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We're on our way to 1,000. We want to get to 1,000.
We need every Denver fan to put a like in there and tell me how bad they hate me. That's what we need.
And every Philadelphia fan and every Charger fan and
Let's not get out of hand.
we might be 1,000.
Look, Denver fans, we're not bringing in the cheaters.
And I would like all you Buck fans to start, cheering it in there. So, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're a fan of anybody in the NFL, anybody in college football,
you like to talk football? Tune in. If you got some friends that like to talk football, tune in. We're trying this new thing. I can see what you're posting and stuff while you're posting it. And we're trying to keep responding to you as we go.
That's right, Renee. No cheaters allowed. Okay. That's why we will never have Bill Belichick on this show. That's why we'll never have Tom Brady on this show. And that's why we will never have Jim Harbaugh on this show.
Absolutely.
Because we know Jeff would be all over.
Unless they have purge night.
Okay, watch what you say.
You gotta watch what you say, man.
My bad.
Guys, we're getting down to the end of the season in college football. We're going to have the playoffs starting soon. NFL, we're right 1 week past the halfway mark, 9 weeks down, 9 to go. Things are going to start getting very, very interesting here coming up. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see. I want to see what everybody's rankings are. That's what I want to see. I want to see how much we differ and how much we're alike.
I mean, this is the best part of the year.
I know.
We got 2/3 behind us, and we're coming down the stretch. And the best of the best get past this, right?
Yep.
I mean, this gets nasty and ugly.
Yep. This is where we enjoy it. Well, for Brian, for Jeff, and for myself, thank you all for tuning in tonight. Again, share this with everybody, let them know. We're trying to get to that 1,000 mark. If we can get to that 1,000 mark, that's going to allow us to do a few more things on this show and bring you some even more entertaining information and bring on some guests with us as well. So we hope to see you all again next Wednesday. But for now, we're going to let you go. Enjoy your football weekend. For Brian, Jeff, and myself, you've been watching Tailgate Talk, and
We
We
know
know sports.